Alright guys, welcome back to Diavel TV, and today we are bringing you episode 6 of our MyGM playthrough on WWE2K25. Now, I am very excited. This is going to be a monumental episode because in this episode we are going to be doing our Wrestlemania to conclude Season 1. As you can see, we are currently sitting pretty in first place above Shawn Michaels, Ava, and Mr. Fuji. We do have 1 out of the 3 trophies necessary to satisfy the win condition and take home the win for the overall series. We are also sitting with the most fans out of all brands, as well as the second most budget. So as you can see, we are currently about 100K in fans over Shawn Michaels, which gives me the utmost pleasure to say. And then we about have 70,000 more than Ava. Again, fans are not the determining factor. It is the trophies, but it's just bragging rights at this point. And I want to make sure that Shawn slides down those leaderboards by the time this series comes to an end. So without further ado, let's jump back into it on the road to WrestleMania. Okay, first things first. Do we have any open promises? We do have a couple. So we did promise Kelani Jordan a rematch against Alexa for the title. I believe that rivalry, we blew that rivalry off at the last pay-per-view, but that's okay. We could potentially sacrifice match ratings for a rivalry on cooldown to satisfy that. I do want to keep Kelani happy, even though we are so close to WrestleMania. She is the top superstar of our brand, let's just say, so keeping her happy will be paramount. I don't want her morale dipping down anymore. I promised Randy Orton 2 weeks of rest, so he will not be on this card or the next card. I could potentially use a call-out promo to have him start up a rivalry for WrestleMania. I told Seth Rollins he'd partner with Randy Orton in a tag match in the next 3 weeks. So what that means, if I'm going to be able to satisfy this, is him and Randy will be tagging up in the 3rd week when Randy is able to come back after his rest period. And I also promised JC Jane that her next fight wouldn't be against Kelani Jordan. That I can do. I can probably get that done this week. Our commissioner goal for the week: schedule a run-in on your most popular superstar for a I Know a Guy power card. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be able to satisfy this, nor even if I wanted to, would it be worthwhile. We probably are not going to be making any more additions to the roster before WrestleMania. And as far as I'm aware, once the season transitions over to Season 2, you lose all of your power cards that are not the GM power cards. I hope I'm right on that. So this card, it wouldn't make much difference to what we're currently doing. We do not have any assets or logistics that we can upgrade. Power cards. Now, this is something that I did want to review before we start this stretch before WrestleMania. We do have quite a couple, or quite a few. So I do have those 2 War Games power cards from winning both the opener and the main event of Survivor Series in the previous episode. So just to recap, this card is select an opposing brand, reduce the level of all their logistic tiers to level 1 for next week's show, and it can't be used in the last week, so it can't be used at WrestleMania. However, it can be used at the WrestleMania go-home show, which will be in a couple weeks. So I can take 2 brands, 2 out of the 3 remaining brands, and take them down to a level 1 logistic across the board, which will be absolutely huge for the go-home show. So we are going to keep that in our back pocket for a couple weeks. I can also veto a random superstar. I am going to be taking somebody off of Shawn's card. Obviously, most likely in the go-home show as well. So we have a lot of power cards that we can play for this go-home show upcoming in a couple weeks. And this right here, this boiling point card, I am most likely going to be using this for the go-home show as well. This is on myself, so it will give a added bonus to every rivalry that we have going. So that will allow us to potentially blow off a couple more rivalries at that go-home show, meaning we'll end up with better ratings. So we have a bad timing card. That one I don't really care about. And then rock bottom prices I will also be using. That will allow us to basically fill that card with a lot of specialty match types. And then bad publicity I will... can't be used the week before a PLE. So it can't be used at the go-home show. So this I will most likely have to use in the next 3 weeks. I will keep that in my back pocket. Actually, you know what? I have a feeling that we are going to be low on stamina 1 week removed from Survivor Series. Let's just give that a check. Yes, we are dangerously low on stamina for a lot of our superstars. So I don't have very high hopes for this show. Therefore, the fan gain for the show might be minimal. So I have a feeling I might use this. And who has been doing well recently? WCW's been doing pretty well. So I'm going to steal some of their fans to hopefully get a leg up on this week, because this week might be full of filler matches that don't mean much. I will be using promos for the most part for a lot of our top guys, because again, our staminas are not great whatsoever. Let's go ahead and see what we can book with the staminas that we have available to us, which I'm not optimistic this is going to be any good, but we'll see. Okay, so Alexa and Kehlani, I believe, just blew their feud off. They did. Their staminas are horrible anyway, so that is not going to be a rivalry. But what I would or can do is potentially put Alexa and Jade into a feud, but that would need to be a call out due to Alexa's stamina level. So we can do a call out for that. We potentially do a tag team, or just a random tag team with some of the people we have left. Cora and JC versus Kehlani and Gigi. Can't put Kehlani in there. She is almost dead. Do I have another face female that I can put in this match? I do. That's Charlotte, and I could potentially have an Alba Fire run-in on Charlotte to hopefully increase that rivalry. That can, that can stay on the mid card. I know it wouldn't really make much sense having one half of the tag team champions in a tag team match without the other half, but again, we can only do so much with what we're given stamina wise, and we are in a bad place. So Braun and Seth, we can actually put this one on the card. I am not concerned over Braun's stamina level, and we can have this one main event the card to give us a good main event, so then these other matches don't mean too much. Logan and Luke, we can have that going this week for sure. We can have that open. That is a level 3 rivalry. Hopefully get that to a level 4. And then can we have a random, potentially fatal 4-way? So remember, we just got that card that, or last episode, I believe, we just got that shake-up card that gives boosts to the fatal 4-way matches by way of having the specialty match types associated to the fatal 4-way have them cost half price. So you'll see a backstage brawl only costs about 30,000 when in a normal match it would be 60. So let's see what we can throw together here. Get Oba in that match, get Trick in that match, get Finn Balor in that match, and then we can get Carmelo in that match. So decent staminas, but I wonder how a run-in will work on a gauntlet match. You know what, I don't even want to do that. They're already a level 4 rivalry. I don't need anything else happening with that rivalry. They're already level 4. So Femi and Williams are on a rivalry cooldown. That is okay. I'm still comfortable putting this match on the mid card, and then let's see if we can let's do a tables match here for Gallows and Paul. Now let's try and figure out maybe a couple more rivalries that we can bring into WrestleMania. So Kaylani should have something to do, but I don't like that. Again, I don't like that stamina level, so I'm going to keep her off the card entirely, and all of the other women on the card are in that tag team match. Not much we can do with her. That sucks, but we'll make do. Now, Randy Orton, I need something for him to do. Seth and Braun will be a Mania match or a go-home show match. Randy Orton and Finn Balor just blew that rivalry off, so we can't do that. So what I want to do is I kind of wanted to turn Randy heel and have him go champion versus champion with Cody Rhodes and have that main event our go-home show, or go on as our mid-card at WrestleMania. Debating internally currently about that one, but I honestly I think that's what we're gonna do, because I think that has the potential to be an absolute banger. So then what does that leave for Finn? Because I definitely want Finn on the card. Finn could potentially go up against Trick Williams or a Wesley, but they already have a level 4 rivalry between him and Carmelo. But actually, I might do this next week. I do want to get a steel cage match going between Carmelo and Wes to blow this off, potentially on a non-PLE or a non-go-home show week. So we'll keep that in our back pocket, but I do want something for Finn, and I potentially want a new tag team, maybe a Trick and Wes and like a Logan and Finn. That's not a bad idea either. But for the time being, I am going to do a role change for Randy, and then I know the stamina is deathly low, but I do have to get this rivalry off the ground. I am going to have Cody call out Randy. They're still both going to be horrible stamina next week, but again, we can utilize the call out promo pretty much every week leading up to the go home show to build that rivalry without actually having them get in a match. So let's take a peek at what we got going on. No power cards we want to use. We are not going to fulfill our commissioner goal. Okay, I can't have Randy Orton perform a role change, unfortunately, because of the fact that I promised him 2 weeks of rest, and him even cutting a promo will negate that promise. But you know what? I'm okay with it. His morale is already great. So having a slight morale, a slightly negative morale because of the promise break, I'm not overly concerned with that. So that's okay. That's not here. JC Jane wouldn't be against Kaylani. Do I have JC in that tag match? I do. It is not against Kaylani, so that will satisfy that. And again, not satisfying our commissioner goal, but whatever. Let's go ahead and book this show. So our first match of the card is a tables match. Luke Gallows versus Logan Paul.
1, 2, that's 3, bell!
And Luke Gallows wins, and that rivalry grows to a level 4. Perfect, just in time for the go-home show. That is amazing. So our call-out between Jade and Alexa, this will be a title feud, grows to a level 1. Our Gauntlet Fatal 4-Way on the mid-card. Carmelo Hayes wins that in only a 2-star match. That is unfortunate. But, okay. Randy Orton, his role change was successful. So he is now a heel, and that paves the way for a champion versus champion feud with Cody Rhodes. So our tag team mid-card match, Cora and JC versus Charlotte and Gigi, and Cora and JC pick up the win. Only in a 1.5-star match, so very disappointing, but hey, I didn't have high hopes for that. That was just a filler match to begin with, so whatever. And then our call-out promo starts that rivalry Perfect, great news. That's going to be an absolute banger at WrestleMania. So we are definitely going to be building off of that in the coming weeks. And then our main event, Extreme Rules match, Braun Breaker versus Seth frickin' Rollins in Extreme Rules, and Braun wins. And that rivalry grows to a level 3. Okay, NXT Mutiny, we're going to simulate through that because we do not care. We're going to simulate through NXT. Looks like Tatum Paxley is back. She has been revived from the dead. And then we are going to simulate through WCW as well. So we lost the opener. We actually lost... Wow, okay. So this is a first in a long time. We lost across the board. So we tied for second in the opener. We tied for second in the first mid card. Sorry, came in dead last in the second mid card, and then we came in second again, tied for second in the main event. So, not the best card, but again, I wasn't expecting much, but that still stings a little bit. Only a 13,000 fan gain, which a little low, but we do have that buffer available where this home stretch to WrestleMania won't mean much at all. We still have a very comfortable lead. We are going to end the season with the #1 amount of fans, so that's okay. We'll still end up with those bragging rights. So 13,000 for SmackDown, Mutiny 13,000 as well. NXT 21,000, okay, good for them, and then WCW 19,000. And that's with 25% fan steal. My goodness, we did not do great this week. But that's okay. As you can see, we are still in first in fans, and tied for Sean with the first amount of trophies, which is perfectly fine. We are going to beat Sean into the ground, beat him to a pulp, because that is what that little snake deserves. Okay, Seth frickin' Rollins, my contract with SmackDown will expire at the end of the week. I would be interested in staying for the rest of the season, and the cost would be $70,000. $70,000 for 3 remaining weeks. Seth, that is asinine, but necessary evil. I am going to keep you on. Need you on the WrestleMania card. Ava, hey there again, Elizabeth. I've been watching the progress of SmackDown. You're putting up a better fight than I expected, but it won't last. Anyway, I expect to be at the top of the podium by the end of the season. Best of luck. I don't need luck. Enjoy third place. JC Jane, I look out into the crowds and see the same people each week. We need to market our show more. So she wants us to upgrade a logistic, which absolutely I will do. JC Jane says, great, now I get to reach all sorts of people. So I wonder what she wants us to upgrade, but whatever she wants to upgrade is what we will upgrade, because I want to upgrade the logistics. Charlie Dempsey says, listen, I've got a real beef with Trick. He keeps taking my stuff from the fridge, and I've had enough of it. I've had enough of his disrespect and want to settle things in the ring with him. I can guarantee that things are going to get heated. An instant rivalry. Great idea. I'll set the match up. Absolutely. You guys want to have a squash match because someone was stealing your food from the fridge? I'll see to it. And then Jade Cargill says, small request for you, is there any chance we could upgrade our crew in time for my next appearance? The current team are okay, but it's not the best work I've ever seen. Might run into trouble here. I promised JC a logistic upgrade, but I don't know what exactly that upgrade is going to be. And if I promise Jade a logistic upgrade, if she wants a different logistic upgrade than JC, I'm only going to be able to satisfy one of them. That means one person's morale is going to take a hit. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I am going to agree and basically just see what happens. Jade Cargill says, excellent, looking forward to taking part in a smoother show. Sure. Okay, so our commissioner goal is book our least popular star for a match this week for an increased cost card. Cool. Our least popular superstar is Wesley. Okay, so I will absolutely get Wesley in the show this week, and then let's check our promises to see if we can get more clarity on those logistic upgrades. All right, yep, so this is exactly what I feared. So Cargill wants tier 3 crew, and JC wants tier 3 advertising. As you can see, I only have the assets available to do one or the other, and not both. So let's cheat a little bit. Who has the higher morale between the two? That would be JC Jane. So JC Jane, I'm sorry, you are not getting your wish fulfilled. I am going to fulfill the request from Jade because, again, her morale is not as great as yours. So Jade wanted a tier 3 crew. So that is what we're going to do. Tier 3 backstage crew. We're going to confirm that. Really taking chunks out of our budget for the past 5 minutes, but that's a necessary evil. Money doesn't mean much at this current point, but hey, gotta spend money to make money. Am I right? So Cody and Randy, we are going to put in another call-out promo. Randy has more stamina, not by much, but I am going to put Randy on the call-out card. I promised Charlie a match against Trick. Okay. We can do that. We can put that on the mid card because that's already a level 1 because it's an instant feud, which that's a mechanic that I very much like. So Charlie against Trick, they have decent stamina, so we can make this an Extreme Rules match. Our main event, I do want to put Seth and Braun back in a match, but Braun's stamina is a little low. So I might save that one for next week, but I do still want to potentially get Seth on the card for a popularity boost. So we'll see if I can maybe do a tag team without Braun. So we can do something like Seth and Luke against somebody like a Carmelo and Oba. Sure, that could be a mid-card filler match. I want to get these guys on the card, want to get them some work. Kalani Jordan, again, I don't know if I have anything really for her. Can potentially feud her with Cora Jade or Alba, no, Cora Jade. But I don't know how beneficial that would be. So what I could possibly do, there's already a pre-existing tag rivalry between Kaylani and Gigi and JC and Cora. So maybe we capitalize on that and just hope that Kaylani doesn't get injured in this. And that can open the show. Do I have a pre-match physio card? I do not have a pre-match physio card. That's okay. I don't think Kaylani's going to get injured, but I might have to take her off the card next week to recuperate before the go-home show. So that's okay, and then let's make a main event match. I wonder if these rivalries are stale, because I can put Wes, and no, I can't even put Carmelo in this because he's already in the tag team match. So let's see if we can do a one-on-one. Randy Orton versus Cody, no. Logan versus Luke, no. Finn versus somebody? Someone? No. So we can do a one-on-one match between Charlotte and Alba. They have decent enough staminas that we can make this let's make it a backstage brawl. I know we are spending a lot of money, but again, in 3 weeks, the money won't matter too much. It will reset when we enter the Season 2 draft. So, let's see if we can do another call-out promo. Braun and Seth, no. I'll have their rivalry increased to level 4 in a match, most likely next week. So that's off the table. We are going to have Jade once again call out Alexa, keep Alexa off the card, get that stamina back so that they can have a banger match at the go-home show. And there are no other callouts that I can make, so let's potentially do a self promo, and we're into a self promo on Logan. So we are very close to getting yet another Hall of Fame trophy to put us at 2. We are almost there for our career revenue earnings. And then we are almost at the trophy reward for total fans. So we might actually pull this off in one season. Okay. All right, let's see how that goes. Extreme rules, normal, extreme rules, backstage bell. Okay, let's go ahead and book this show. So our first match of the night is a tag team championship match. Kaylani and Gigi versus JC and Cora. Kaylani and Gigi retain in a 3-star match, upping that rivalry to a level 2. Nothing happened on the rivalry front between Randy and Cody. That is unfortunate. Second match, tag team Seth and Luke versus Carmelo and Oba, and Seth and Luke take home the dub. 2.5-star match. Nothing going with rivalries, but that's okay. Jade and Alexa rivalry, level 1 upgrades to a level 2. That's fantastic. Charlie Dempsey versus Trick Williams. Who knows? Charlie Dempsey wins. Welcome to SmackDown. 2.5 stars. That rivalry grows to a level 2. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this rivalry, but it's a good card filler. If I need a match, I can throw them in there. Logan Paul, +3 popularity increase on the self promo. And then our main event, Charlotte Flair versus Alba Fire in a backstage brawl match. And Charlotte wins. 4 stars. Perfect. And that rivalry grows from a level 1 to a level 2. So that's great. Simulate Mutiny. Simulate NXT. And we're going to simulate WCW. So we won the opener, won the opener, second in the first mid-card, second in the second mid-card, and then tied for first for the main event. So anybody's week, we did okay, a lot better than last week for damn sure. Plus 29,000 fans for SmackDown, plus 17,000 fans for Mutiny, plus 10,000 for NXT, and plus 4,000 for WCW. So they struggled mightily. They were very close to actually losing fans this week, which would have been a first for this series. Okay, so we did get our second trophy, earned $2 million in lifetime revenue. So that should put us handily in first, which it does. We have 2 out of 3 trophies. Sean has 1 of 3, and Ava and Mr. Fuji have absolutely none. And again, we are sitting pretty with 2.1 million fans. That is almost 100,000 over second place, which is still Ava, but Sean is overall second because of that trophy. And then we are about 140,000 over Shawn Michaels. And then poor Mr. Fuji, once again, every episode have to make light of this, sitting there in the gutter, and that is where he will stay for the rest of the season. And probably the rest of the series. Okay, off to Orlando, Florida. 1 more week until the go-home show, so we have a lot to do in terms of solidifying our rivalries for WrestleMania. Charlie Dempsey says, thanks for the match against Trick. It's always better to settle these things in the ring. I agree, and great match. Perfect. Ava, hey, what was that stunt you just pulled? You like that? Gotta get dirty if you want to win. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to Ava, to be honest. Oh, it was the fans. So that card that I played last week actually came into effect this week, and I stole 25% of WCW's fans. That is why they only had 4,000. That makes sense. Bring it on, Ava. Not scared of you. You are not winning. You are going to be a perpetual bottom feeder in this series, so your threats mean absolutely nothing. Jade Cargill says, new crew definitely did a better job than the old team. I guess you get what you pay for. Appreciate all the hard work, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, JC, unfortunately, I did break that promise. Another week with the same energy in the crowd. Where was the new advertising spend you promised? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that multiple superstars would be requesting different logistics. I just did not have the assets available to do that because of this new asset system that 2K has implemented into the game. So I did have to break that promise. I apologize, and that's a major decrease to JC's morale, but that's okay. You only have to hold off for 2 more weeks. Okay, 2 more weeks. Give me 2 more weeks, and then you could go join Shawn Michaels for all I care. All right. So this week, Seth needs to partner with Randy Orton. I can definitely make that happen. Okay. Have your most popular female face and heel fight each other for a Get Schooled card. That's an idea. But again, maybe this close to WrestleMania, it's not that important, because if I don't use it, I will lose it. But if I can make it happen, I will put it on somebody that maybe I'm thinking about retaining for season 2. So we're going to put Seth and Braun in the main event. That's just going to stay a normal match. Maybe 1 more week of rest for Alexa. I just want to make sure that she's good to go for the go home show. And now that I think about it, I might want Kaylani to represent SmackDown at the women's cross brand match, because her popularity is still through the roof, and I'm hoping her stamina level will increase. So I'm going to give her a self promo to hopefully work on that popularity to get it as high as possible before WrestleMania, because I'm thinking she's going to be our female representative. Because unfortunately, I don't have a one-on-one feud for her right now, because the title is currently caught up in the Alexa and Jade feud, which will blow off most likely next week at the Go Home show. So yeah, doing one more call out. So I do have to put Randy in a match this week, a tag team match with, I believe, who was it? Finn Balor? I don't remember. I'll double check that. But we're going to have Cody call out Randy. Okay, it's Seth Rollins. So I can't have that. We're going to do a tag team instead. We're going to do Randy and Seth. Why would... Okay, no, that makes sense, because I did turn Randy after I made this promise to Seth. So Seth's morale is okay. I could probably afford to break this promise. I don't want to make a habit of breaking promises, but I kind of might have to in this circumstance here. So we're gonna stay with Seth and Braun. Then we can do a tag team match. We'll do Wes and Trick versus 2 heels. Maybe Logan and Finn for a tag team title match. Just something random that might get decent ratings. Popularities are pretty good, and actually it might be beneficial even for Logan and Finn to win this match, so that they get the +5 popularity boost from being the tag champions, and that will assist them in their one-on-one rivalries for match rating. So that's okay. I'm comfortable with that match. Let's see. So Randy. Yeah, so I'm not going to put Randy in a match. He is going to stay off the card, recuperate some stamina. We could do a Charlotte and Alba match, and then we could possibly do a women's fatal 4-way, or no, we can't. I don't want to risk any more stamina loss for Alexa. We could do a women's triple threat, or we could do a men's fatal 4-way. Let's see how this looks once I put these guys on. Randy staying off, Luke Gallows, Oba Femi, and Charlie Dempsey. Oba's stamina's low. I'm not overly concerned about that. So this looks decent. I could potentially make this a Extreme Rules match just for the bonus. Their staminas are kind of low, but if I put them in a match next week at the Go Home show and they end up getting injured, that's fine because of the fact that there's only one more show in the season after that, and that is WrestleMania. Neither of these gentlemen most likely will be either in the mid-card or representing us in the cross-brand match of the PLE. So I might have to feed Seth and Braun to the lambs here, but that's okay. They'll forgive us. So this isn't fulfilled. That's okay. I'm not overly worried about it. Let's go ahead and book this show and get on with the go home. So our first match, tag team title match, Wes and Trick versus Logan and Finn. And just like I said, Logan and Finn do take those titles. That was a 3-star match, no rivalry. That's okay. We did get the titles on Logan and Finn for that popularity boost, so that's a dub. Jade and Alexa's rivalry grows from level 2 to level 3. Charlotte Flair and Alba Fire, mid-card match, just a normal match. Alba Fire hoping for a 3-star. 3-star, that rivalry goes to level 3. No popularity increase for Kaylani, that's unfortunate, but at least she doesn't lose popularity. A random fatal 4-way match. Charlie Dempsey wins. 1.5 stars. Charlie Dempsey has come into SmackDown and has laid waste to everyone he's fought thus far. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton grow to a level 2. And then our main event, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
That's it. Ring the bell.
Braun Breaker wins. That is a 3.5-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 4. So that is absolutely perfect. And I am just now realizing that I forgot to use my power cards for the go home show. So we won the opener, won the first mid-card, got demolished in the second mid-card, and then we came in second place in the main event. So not bad altogether. Plus 11,000 fans this week, plus almost $100,000. So that's nice. Mutiny plus 10,000. NXT plus 10,000. And WCW plus 20,000. Okay, so again, we are handily in first place. Now we have 2 out of 3 trophies, whereas Sean only has 1. And now Mr. Fuji, the comeback kid, got a trophy before Ava, so that pole vaults him to 3rd. So Mr. Fuji is no longer in the gutter, it is Ava. Wow, okay. So we got ourselves a little bit of a race here. All right, so that'll be something to keep an eye on for sure. And of course, we have Shawn Michaels wanting to catch these hands. You know, they should definitely allow us to do a GM versus GM match at pay-per-views, because I would really love to lay the absolute smackdown on Shawn Michaels, if I haven't made that clear enough already throughout this entire series. But he once again hitting us with another power card that takes either a superstar off our roster or inhibits us in some fashion. So this man is scared, obviously. But Cora Jade, not the worst thing in the world, and it brings her ring level down to a 0. Whatever. So Sean is also hitting us with a breaking news bad publicity card. Is going to steal 2% of our fans this week. Okay. And Mr. Fuji is going to triple the cost of all of our matches. That's honestly not... War Games, reduce level of all their logistic tiers to level 1. That is... How did... Oh, he must have got the card because his superstar won with mine in the tag team. Okay. All of our logistic tiers are level 1. That's really fine. I mean, our lead is so insurmountable that these negative things don't matter too much. I just hope we don't get shafted at WrestleMania next week. So Seth Rollins' boss, what happened to booking me and Randy as a tag team? I get that. I understand. I'm sorry I broke that promise, Seth, but please hold on for 2 more weeks. Jade Cargill says, I've been putting a lot of work, and I think I've earned a shot at the Women's Championship. How about it? What a coinky-dink, because we are putting you in a match with Alexa Bliss this week. So, yeah, absolutely, you will get your title shot. Okay, so I kind of biffed on this. So we can use Boiling Point. This will increase all of our rivalries by 1. So any rivalry that is level 3 and below will get increased. That's perfectly fine. I'd like that. Bad timing. I don't know if I'll even be able to use this. Yeah, I don't have. So right now, all of our match types, the cost are tripled. So you'll see a casket match costs $225,000. So to offset that, we can use the rock bottom prices card to not feel the effects of that much. So that's good. We have a veto random superstar. I can use that on Sean. So next week at WrestleMania, that will veto somebody. That's fine. And let's use these on Sean. And we're going to use it. Okay, I can't use them both. That's unfortunate, but at least we got Sean out of the way. Sean will feel our wrath next week. He stands absolutely zero chance. Zero chance. Okay, so looks like we have a perk for Charlotte. Let's get that out of the way. Again, these ones don't really matter in an all specialist playthrough. No other perks to do. And we are stuck with tier 1 everything logistic wise, unfortunately. But let's do the best we can with what we're given, and let's book this show. So first things first, we are going to have Jade and Alexa for the title in a Hell in a Cell. That will get a good bonus, that good rating, that's fine. We need an Extreme Rules match for a veto star. It doesn't matter because we won't be able to use it next week when we get it, and it will go away after WrestleMania, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. So I'm not inclined to have an Extreme Rules match. If I do, it's definitely not for this. So I will be fulfilling this promise. Unfortunately, will be breaking my promise to Kaylani. So hopefully that doesn't affect her morale too much, because I need Kaylani in the women's cross-brand match next week at WrestleMania. I don't know if WrestleMania functions any differently than any of the other PLEs that we've done thus far this season, but I guess we will find out. So let's do Braun and Seth to open the match in a casket match. Let's see what happens when we book a casket match. Now, I'm fully envisioning both of these individuals getting injured, so whoever ends up winning the match will most likely be injured, and whoever loses will apparently be off the brand entirely. So that is risky business, but hey, that's perfectly fine. We can live with that. Now, I also want to blow off Logan and Luke, or do I? Because Luke would be a good play for our men's main event for the cross brand at WrestleMania. But I do want to get that rivalry blown off, because that will be some good ratings. Now, Cody and Randy, I'm going to do yet another call out for these two, because this match will be the match that is on our mid card at WrestleMania. I'm thinking possibly Finn Balor could be our male representative if Luke's stamina is too low. So, okay. You'll see JC Jane and Cora both have a 0 ring level because of those power cards played against us. So it is confirmed that it is a permanent decrease. It is not just a 1 week, 5 week, whatever decrease. It is permanent throughout the entire season, which is scary. So let's see what else we can book here. Kaylani, I want to rest. I am actually probably going to try her again on a self promo. No, I'm not. Scratch that idea. I want that 12 stamina bonus for being off the card, because again, she's most likely going to be our female representative for the women's cross brand. Either her or Charlotte, I can't decide. So let's book Charlotte and Alba, get that feud blown off. That could just be a normal match. I still do need to take into account our budget. We are currently using over half of our budget on this show already. And then we will most likely need a tag team or some sort of fatal four-way. Let's do a fatal four-way, a fatal four-way gauntlet or a fatal four-way steel cage, because what I want to do is put two rivalries to blow off together. So Carmelo, Charlie, Trick, and Wes. Fatal four-way steel cage that'll blow off both rivalries. That should be at least a 4-star match, I hope. Fingers crossed. So we're gonna have Cody call out Randy because I want Cody on the card so his popularity does not drop. That should hopefully bring this rivalry to level 4 to blow off next week. And then, well, actually, because of where we're currently at in the season, I don't need to do any more callouts. Let's do some self-promo. We can do a self-promo for Randy, a self-promo for Finn, and then we'll determine who we want to have represent us in the male match when we get there next week, but just to keep our options open. And then we will do a self-promo for, I don't want to do Kaylani because I want her stamina to get back up there. Actually, okay. No health spot cards, unfortunately. So, Kaylani will be about 40 stamina. Hopefully that would be enough. And let's do something random here just to get people involved. Sure, let's do that. That doesn't really make much sense. Doesn't make a difference currently with where we're currently at in the season, but hey, it gets people on the card. No power cards. We are almost there for fans. I have a feeling we actually might win this next week after WrestleMania. Okay, let's go ahead and book this show. So our first match, the casket match between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins.
It's over. Bring it.
Braun Breaker wins and Seth is off the brand. 4.5-star match, rivalry complete. Seth Rollins injured for 4 weeks. Again, doesn't really matter currently, but oh my goodness. All right, so Seth is gone. Our call out gets that rivalry to level 4. That is perfect. That sets us up to have that blow off next week. Normal match, Charlotte Flair versus Alba Fire.
It's over.
Alba Fire does pick up the win, blows off the rivalry. 3.5-star match, rivalry complete. Randy Orton, 2 popularity increased. Awesome. Mid-card, fatal 4-way steel cage. Hopefully blowing off 2 rivalries here. Wesley picks up the win. 4-star match. Both rivalries complete. Couldn't ask for anything more. Finn Balor with a weak promo. A no popularity increase. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. I can live with that. Logan Paul versus Luke Gallows in a normal match. And Luke Gallows picks up the W. 3.5-star match, rivalry complete. Okay, so that tag team call out actually grows that tag team rivalry to a level 4. So good for them. Not going to do anything with that because we just don't have any available options. We don't have anything to do with them because we only have 1 match that we can book, and that's next week's mid-card match, which is not going to be this. So that will be a rivalry that goes to waste, but hey, what are you going to do? And then our main event, Hell in a Cell title match between Jade and Alexa. And Alexa retains. That's a 4.5-star match, and that rivalry is complete. Kind of hoping for a 5-star, but Alexa's popularity was probably a little bit too low to anticipate a 5-star match. But hey, I'll take 4.5. Perfectly fine, and both ladies come out without injury. Let's take a quick look at these cards. Nothing special going on here with Mutiny.
That's it. Ring the bell.
Ooh, no, I want to simulate this entire show. Hello. There we go. Okay, off to NXT and Shawn Michaels, an Iron Man match to open the card, and then an Extreme Rules match to cap it off. Honestly, not bad. I can see them kind of rivaling us this week, and then WCW, another Iron Man match and another Extreme Rules match. Okay. Simulate that show, see how we did. Absolutely destroyed across the board. All right, 4.5-star opener. beat everybody else. 3.5-star, mid-card 1, 4-star, mid-card 2, 3.5-star, mid-card 3, and a 4.5-star main event. So we swept everyone. No one even came close to us. That drama curve is absolutely perfect. It is touching that green line perfectly. You could not shape that up any better. So perfect. Again, we do have a Rollins injury, but again, I believe he is off the brand. I don't exactly know how that works, but Rollins is gone. Mutiny. Damian Priest injured for 2 weeks, so he will not be able to be on the card for WrestleMania. Wild and Coffee injured for 5 and 8 weeks respectively, so they are done for the season. And Nakamura gone for 4 weeks, will be unavailable next week at WrestleMania. Unfortunate, but okay. So 76,000 fans minus $110,000, so we lost a hell of a lot of money on that show, but that is okay. We kind of went balls to the wall. We wanted to go big or go home and set the example after all of those power cards were played against us. Not the end of the world. We should still have adequate budget to put on a half-decent WrestleMania card, so not overly worried. NXT Mutiny plus 43,000, NXT plus 40,000, and WCW plus 43,000. Okay, so going into the final week of the season, we again, as always, absolutely no surprise, we are in first, okay, and nobody is even close. So I do see that Ava did get a trophy this week, so now Ava, Sean, and Fuji all have 1. And obviously we still have 2, and we are still in the lead by total fans over the next highest person by 110,000 over Ava. So we are leading in all metrics except for budget, but oh well, gotta spend money to make money. Am I right? All right, so Kaylani Jordan, again, yes, I understand. I realize I did kind of break that promise to you, but having that title rematch kind of wasn't in my plans. So major morale decrease to Kaylani. That sucks, but I still probably do want her to represent the brand at WrestleMania. The Jade, I appreciate the title shot. It's good to know I've got a boss that keeps their word. After I just broke a promise to Kaylani. Whatever. Need a gauntlet match. Okay. Commissioner goal at WrestleMania doesn't matter. I do have the capability to purchase the WrestleMania venue, but I'm just concerned about our budget. But we only have 1 show to book. The other 2 or 1 match to book. The other matches that we contribute superstars to, the crossband matches, are free and don't cost us anything. So we have a perk for Alexa. Again, these ones don't really matter. Again, we're doing an all specialist playthrough. So check out power cards. Nothing really that we can do here that would make a difference. So without further ado, let us book WrestleMania. So our opener for WrestleMania is going to be a Women's Extreme Rules Fatal 4-Way, and the match rewards, you get a card Godlike. The next Immortal you sign this week is free. If this card carries over into Season 2, that would be absolutely monumental. So basically week 1, go to Talent Scout, try to find an Immortal superstar like an Undertaker or somebody else, and you can sign them for free. I don't know if you could sign them for the whole season for free, but if you could, absolute game changer. So we have to make sure that we win this. Now, I actually, looking at what I'm seeing right now, I think I'm gonna put Jade in this match because, and strictly because of the stamina. Now, obviously, Kaylani, been our golden girl for the past couple episodes. She won us our very first cross-brand match, I believe at Survivor Series, or the one before it. But Jade has similar popularity. It's only down by a little bit. Way more stamina, higher morale, and almost the same ring level. So I think I'm going to risk it, and I am going to have Jade Cargill represent SmackDown at WrestleMania. I hope I don't regret that one. So our mid-card match, this one again is going to be, where's Cody? going to be Randy versus Cody, and champion versus champion match, but I want it for the world title because I assume that will give the largest match quality boost. And we are going to go absolutely balls to the wall here with this. And we are going to make this a... Do we want to make it a casket match? Have another casket match? Probably not. So the TLC is the branded PLE bonus. I already think this match will be a 5-star, so I don't know if a TLC match will be of any benefit. But you know, why not? We're gonna make this a TLC match for the world title, champion versus champion. That should be a legendary match, 5-star match, without question. So, and then our promo, which I assume won't matter. Do a charity, I guess. Find somebody with a 5 mic skill. Alexa. Sure. Alexa, charity promo. Maybe get us some bonus fans. Whatever. I don't think it matters too much. And then our main event, our WrestleMania main event of Season 1 is a men's Fatal 4-Way Gauntlet match. Now, guys, if you remember, earlier on in this season, we kind of went on a frenzy of having Fatal 4-Way Gauntlet matches. And do you remember who won all of them? Mr. Luke Gallows. So I'm giving Luke the opportunity to keep that streak going and to represent SmackDown in the main event of WrestleMania. His popularity is decent. His stamina is decent. His in-ring is off the charts. I believe level 22. And his morale is the highest that it can get. So, I am investing heavily in Luke Gallows, and hopefully that investment pays off. So our total show cost is $35,000. Let's just make sure we are confirmed. So Jade representing in the opener. Cody and Randy in a TLC in the mid. And Luke Gallows representing the brand in the WrestleMania main event. We do have the WrestleMania venue. Okay. And there are no power cards really that we can buy that would be applicable. So, let's book this show. Ooh, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, so our WrestleMania opener, Women's Fatal 4-Way Extreme Rules. Again, we have Jade Cargill representing the brand. Mutiny has Io Sky. NXT has Becky Lynch, and WCW has Bianca Belair. So if this match actually happened in real life, this would be an absolute banger. This honestly could go either way. All brands pulling out the stops for this match. So without further ado, let's see. Okay, so Bianca wins. That is okay, perfectly fine. 4-star amazing match. We just have to now put all of our eggs in the Luke Gallows basket. So our mid-card match, Cody versus Randy, TLC 1-on-1 for the title. I'm expecting a 5-star. Randy Orton wins to become the double champion. Only 4.5. Only 4.5. That's unfortunate. Not the way I wanted to end the end season 1, but whatever. I'll take it, but still a little bit disappointed. Alexa, whatever. 6,000 fans, okay. Now, Mutiny's mid-card, Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Just a normal tag team match. 2 stars. That was absolutely abysmal. Fuji, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Rey Mysterio doing a charity promo. Okay. Now, NXT Shawn Michaels last man standing match. Lyra Valkyria versus Carmella. Non-title match. This shouldn't do too much. Carmella wins in a 2.5-star match that blows off their rivalry, no injuries. Call out, okay. And now a Hell in a Cell tag team match for Ava and WCW. Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo versus Jacob Fatu and Omos. I'd watch that in real life.
That's it. Bring it.
And Tony and Stacks. 3.5-star match, and Tony D'Angelo gets injured, but it does not matter because this is the last card of the season. All right. Now, on to the main event. The Fatal 4-Way Gauntlet once again, but this is the main event of WrestleMania. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more competition from the other brands. We got Tama Tonga representing WCW, 55 popularity, high stamina, however. Brutus Creed representing Mutiny, low popularity, but again, relatively high stamina. And then Josh Briggs representing NXT. Again, low popularity, but higher stamina. So we have the lowest stamina out of all 4 of these guys, but the highest popularity, and what I would assume would be the highest in-ring level, as well as tied for the highest morale. So this could go either way, but fingers crossed for Luke Gallows.
That's it. It's over. Hit the bell.
Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs wins the main event of WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? I really wanted that card, man. I really, really wanted that card. But that's okay. We absolutely dominated the mid card, and the opener and main event were both 4 stars. So, in terms of fans, we should have run away with this plus $190,000, plus $129,000. So, I guess technically we won, but I wanted those cards, man. I wanted those power cards. Those would have been an absolute game changer for season 2. Okay, so Mutiny plus 159. NXT plus 146, and WCW plus 175. Okay, good for them. Okay, so we just got a trophy. This would be our 3rd trophy required to satisfy the winning condition. So before we get into all that, end of season 1, we are obviously first place, 3 out of 3 trophies. Shawn Michaels, 2 out of 3. Ava and Fuji both have 1. We end the season with 2.4 million fans. Shawn with let's just call it 2.2. Ava with, let's call it 2.3. And then Mr. Fuji, let's call that 2.2. So roughly 100,000 fan gap between us and second place. And then on budget, doesn't really matter, but we were 3rd. We spent a lot of money this year, so that's to be expected. Now, I'm curious to see what happens after this because we've satisfied our win condition with 3 out of 3 trophies. Just to be clear, in the event that we do win, I hope there's a mechanism in place that will allow us to do 1 more season. I would like to do 1 more season. I would like to do a brand redraft. I would like to do that all again with superstars that are already established based on season 1. I think that would be very good content to pump out. So hopefully we can do that if in fact this triggers us winning the series. All right, so Slammy Awards. Yes, I know what Slammy Awards are. Most commissioner goals completed, Miss Elizabeth. Okay. Mr. Fuji, most tornado tag matches. Shawn Michaels, most injuries sustained. That's what you get. That's what you get. Good. And Ava, most no-hold barred matches. Okay. Season 1 summary. Our best match card quality of an A, highest total profit, 164,000, almost 200K, most new fans in a single show. Damn. Our average card quality was a B, 18 rivalries completed, and then our average card quality during PLEs, 91 out of 120. I'll take that. So our boy Luke Gallows takes home the most matches won award with 11, as well as the most popularity gained award with 67. So honestly, he wasn't involved in any main event, a main event feud, title rivalries, anything like that. But I would argue that Luke Gallows carried our brand this year and probably should be our brand MVP if that award actually existed. Most matches booked. Okay, Alexa with the highest average match rating. That's surprising. And then Roman Reigns, most weeks spent injured. We don't talk about Roman Reigns over here on SmackDown. That man is a traitor, and his name is treated like Voldemort in Harry Potter. All right. Okay, so this does trigger the winning animation for us, Miss Elizabeth of SmackDown. Welcome to the WWE Hall of Fame. Presented here before you are the best of the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the greatest of all time. Against all odds, they have proven themselves champions. They stand atop the highest mountains of fallen opponents and laugh in the face of their adversaries. They will be immortalized in the history books. Their actions will be a picture-perfect template for all future general managers. Their hard work and perseverance is an inspiration to us all. Congratulations on entering the Hall of Fame. We're rewarding anyone who entered the Hall of Fame with exclusive manager cards for use in my faction. Does anybody actually play my faction? This just seems like a desperate attempt to get people to actually open that part of the game. So whatever. We are going to keep playing. Okay, so we will do one more season, start to finish, and then we will call it a series. Season 2. Well, guys, I do think that that would be the best possible time to cut this episode. So we will do the redraft, the season 2 redraft in the next episode, as well as identify the keepers that we want to keep on our roster for season 2 in the next episode that will drop probably tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and the road to WrestleMania. Hopefully season 1 was entertaining, and hopefully it was as fun for you as it was for myself to make it. If you did enjoy this content, I would humbly ask that you do leave a like and a comment on this video. It helps us and the channel with the YouTube algorithm and helps push this content out to more people. And as well, if you are so inclined, if you did get invested in this series and are invested in any series we have going on right now currently, or want to see more series come out as time goes on, I would ask that you potentially subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. All of those mechanisms I just outlined will cost you absolutely nothing, but as always, no pressure. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one.